Welcome everyone, my name is Jack and this is VoidExpanse. It's just hit full release, or version 1.0, on Steam. I think it was the 2nd of April it just came out, but it's been in development for some time, for about over a year. What it is, it's a sci-fi game set in space. We're in a spaceship, much like the one on the screen, and it's kind of a role-playing adventure game. So you can take quests, you can align yourself with factions, technologies, do mining, and all that kind of stuff. And it's got a really nice platform. So what we'll do is we'll jump into a game that I've been playing for a while, but I want to point out before we start, if you look on the right there, you can either play the game in single player or in multiplayer. And so there are quite a few servers up at the moment, which is pretty cool. Some of them have got a couple of people on them. You notice that the pings aren't too great though. That's because I'm playing all the way in New Zealand. So if you're playing over in America or in the States, you can probably have a lot more players on it. Like this one, this server can take up to 65,000 players. That'd be a bit ridiculous. But this one here, 8, I can take 10,000. So that's pretty cool. Player versus environment, dedicated over time. So there's quite a few servers. There's not really too many players, but if you're playing on a server which has, 8, 10 people on all the time, that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into my single player one that I've been playing. I've put in just under 2 hours, and am I level 16? Goodness me. Cool. So I've loaded in my save game, and I have been playing for a while, which I think is good because it skips some of the intro stuff, and I can show off the mechanics at my own pace. What I'm currently in is a station. I'm going to undock just to show you what it looks like when we're actually flying around. And we've got kind of this isometric perspective. Everything's in 3D. Like I can look at my ship model in 3D when I'm in the space station, but out here it's on that kind of isometric view, which I think is quite cool. So I can use WSAD to control the ship. There's a couple of different control modes, I'm pretty sure. There's a button to push it, but I can't remember what it is. Holding spacebar allows me to pause. I can use Q and E to strafe. And yeah, so I can move around like so. Different ships have different maneuverability stats. They have different momentum and top speeds and whatnot. But what are those 2 lines? They're my guns. And you'll probably notice is that they've got an arc. So the gun on the, if I stop here, the gun on, I can zoom in. The gun on the left there, that reddish one, can go from this 90-degree angle to about here, while the yellow one can go from about there to there. So they've got their own, attack angles. And that plays a really big importance, because I would love to get a ship which is kind of like a battleship with lots of turrets along the side. Kind of like a pirate ship you can fire off to the sides. Because at the moment, I have to get behind the ships and attack them from this perspective, which is okay, but it's not ideal. So we can move around, we can attack down the bottom right there. We've got my machine gun ammo, so I can fire it off. I also got my laser as well, which is pretty good. I can also knock out incoming missiles. And that's really in terms of combat. At the moment I'm finding it's just kind of doing circles around enemies and taking each other out. What we've got on the bottom left is we've got energy, shield, and hull. Beside it to the right, the purple one, I believe is fuel. The other one I think is speed or momentum, something like that. So I'm going to dock back into the ship and I'll show you a couple other things in here before we set out, because I've got an interesting quest. I just docked into the ship. I've got some interesting quests that we can do, and I think it'll be quite interesting to see how they work. So on the screen here, I can repair and refuel my hull. It costs money, D. I don't actually know what the D stands for. Think of it as credits. So I'm going to repair both of those. If we look here on the decks, we've got characters that we can talk to. And so here I could ask for jobs. I can ask about different factions and whatnot. And there's a couple of different people to talk to. That's how the dialogue works in this game. And over, if we go to the journal, I've got a couple of missions to do. So factions is a major thing in this game. If we jump to this screen here, we've got 6 major factions. I'm currently, I've got a positive relationship only by positive 20. If you look at the little bar there in the bottom right, you'll notice, I think freedom's, they're still worth 20. It's absolutely tiny, but it's still positive with these 2. I've got negative with these guys because they've just, these guys are always an alien race. They've got negative 5,000. I guess maybe you could get them positive. It might take a really long time. Pirates, as Zakata, I don't know, fanatics, neutrals who don't belong to any faction, freedom, and order. So order is kind of like militaristic alliance, very people soldiers, that kind of stuff. Freedom is just like independent union of those who all want to, I guess, do stuff together. On the galaxy map, which you'll see is actually fairly substantial, the different regions shows you what factions control, and I'm pretty sure this changes over time, which is really, really cool. So in a system, so each one of these things is a system, and I'm currently here in Tonpol. This is Tonpol, and Tonpol has a couple of different planets. It has asteroids, and those little red dots that are moving around, they're actually pirates. The green spots, they're stations you can go to, and they've got different types. So this one, I can't even remember what the symbols are for, but people and money, science, I'm pretty sure they're the different types. And then these points here, they're gates which jump between different systems like so. So currently, I'm in the Freedom system. I've gone to the capital and I've asked for a mission. Mercenary Wrath gave me a task to go to the Order's capital, to the green guys. In the Zondo system, download classified military data from their secure servers with specialized or special hacking device. Need to visit 3 stations and hack computer terminals in each of them. So this could be interesting because I'm kind of betraying, you know, the basic humans. Oh, we'll jump to that screen in a moment. Bit of a spoiler there. So I gotta go all the way back to here, and what I'm gonna do is actually gonna set the autopilot, and that will come into play in a moment. As I hover over a system, it shows me it's got Terra, Atom, and Metro. They're different types of stations. Asteroid density is low. I've got some factions there. The numbers to the left and right of the symbol, though, what are they called? Swords. Number 5, that's the level of enemies in that region. So over here, something's like 55. The number on the right, I'm pretty sure, is the level of gear that you can find in that sector. So 60, 15, and whatnot. So yeah, different levels of weapons you can look at. What's this one here do? Ah, it zooms to where you are. Neat. So I set an autopilot. You can notice there's a course there. Visit the tech tree. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, that's all right. This is just piloting, then there's combat, then there's engineering, and then there's social. Social's pretty tight at the moment. I am level 16, I've got 10 points, and I've been putting them into certain buffs. So currently social is giving me a lot of buffs for reducing the price of things, and we might go into another level of that because we're about to buy something pretty cool. We've got piloting as well, so I can pilot different levels of ships. I can only unlock them at certain levels, and then maybe like adjust the thrust or the turning speed or something. You know, and increase my proficiency with a certain weapon type. Now, one thing you'll probably find as I play this game, what I find is that it's got the basis for a lot of cool features, but at the moment it feels a little bit, not bland, but currently like when you do mining, which we'll need to do some in a moment, just doesn't feel that interesting. And possibly, I don't know, combat just seems a bit repetitive at the moment. And I can get a new ship, but people have said in the later game, when you get to like level 25 plus, it gets a bit stale. But the cool thing is, even if it's stale for the moment, it's still in development. And I think there's a really cool base layer. So for example, Space Pirates and Zombies is a space game, very similar, I would say, to this one. Really cool. And then later on, they introduced like bounties and whatnot. And it was a really cool base game with an extra feature on top. And I think the same thing could happen with VoidExpanse. It's got all the necessary things for a functional game, and it works well. But that later game, I think there needs to be some new additions into that. So hopefully that'll come with time. I think they're still doing some performance and bug fixing for the moment. So here's our ship. So we're going to look at the 3D model, and they've got different components. The level C means civilian. So I still haven't even upgraded all of the components out of the civilian level. I've been selling stuff to upgrade them out. Oh, here's the control scheme. We can either do it with, you know, keyboard and aim with the mouse, or the ship automatically steers with the mouse. I'll leave it how it is, I'm used to it. Here's the store, which changes with every station, and that can be important to the types of stuff you buy there. We're a mining station, so there's lots of, you know, minerals. If you look down here, lots of different types of minerals, and probably mining drills as well that we could buy in here. What I want to do is I want to buy a new ship because I think our current ship's a bit outdated. I've currently got the Banshee, and I thought upgrading to the Banshee Mark II would be a suitable investment. It's currently 5,343. It says in their default price is 4,700, and I'm wondering why it's a bit high. I still haven't figured that out yet. On the right of it, you'll see that it has level 10, and on the right it's got the price that it is. I don't understand how that works. Like, is it 10% higher? It doesn't seem to be exactly right. So don't understand exactly how the costs work. But again, like in many of these space games, buying minerals cheap, transporting them, selling them more, you know, for profit somewhere else is quite important if you want to make some easy money. So I'm going to buy this, put it into storage. So I just paid a lot of money, and I'm going to upgrade the ship. Cool, we've got our new ship. We're going to equip some lasers, equip the machine gun. If we go back to the store, I'm going to sell the old Banshee. Yeah, we get $1,000 for that. So that's kind of keep. So I need to buy, we've got one more spot left for another laser. And so what I might do is I might buy this one here, it's another light laser. It's currently only $455. There's no other red lasers other than the civilian lasers that we could get for that same price. So let's check into our inventory. You'll notice that before I put the ship into storage and just the weapons into inventory, because that makes sense, you can't put a ship in your inventory like inside the ship, but you can put a laser inside the ship and then you can equip that laser from your inventory. Cool. So we've got 2 guns and we've got a machine gun in the middle. The firing arcs I think are much better. If we look at this screen, they're 120 degrees, the middle one's 100. Guys, I thought I'd just jump to another station quickly to show you some other ships, maybe possibly some even later game stuff. Here we've got some of the bigger ships, so $65,000, $70,000. But you notice that the weapon slots, yeah, the tracking isn't too large on them. Like stationary mounted and tracking only 145 degrees. I find that quite low. Why can't there be a ship that doesn't have all these stationary mounted things that have, lots of little turrets along the sides? I would like something like that. Like this one here, tracking 360 degrees. It's slow to turn, but at least you've got that large firing arc. I would really like to have a ship like that. So anyway, there's a whole lot of components here, but it's these large ships, which are probably the end game ships. It seems like they're the highest requirement with the heavy cruisers. Maybe there's different types out there in the systems, we don't know, but they seem pretty cool to fly. I think we've got everything. We've refueled up. What we're going to do is undock. And we're going to go to that system that we were at before. So it's auto-saving. Cool. So now I've got a much better arc because I can shoot, I guess aliens that are, other enemies that are in a much wider field of view. It's probably a very poor way of explaining it. I'll just show you mining super quickly. Don't worry, we can travel much faster than this. I just want to show you something before we get going, super speed. So I've got the ability now that when I mouse over one, I can scan it and I can see what's inside of it. If we move nice and close, we can freeze up, I can stare at it. If I push the number 4 on my keyboard, see down the bottom there, I've got the drill. I've got a drill which takes quite a bit of time. But cool. It gives me a bunch of ore and that's just gone straight into my inventory. And that's essentially mining. But there is, some stats that you can tweak with that on how much mine you get. Oh, the cargo is already full, so we have to probably sell it soon. But I find that really, really useful in terms of just being able to go somewhere, just instantly mine and get some stuff back. I find that's nice and simple. But again, what's the end game with mining? I feel like there's more risky things to mine. How would I know what they are? I'm going to sell this stuff quickly. And we'll also look at the tech tree and I'll spend some tech points on something which will hopefully help our journey with this mission. So we spent a bit of fuel there actually. Here I'm going to just sell all of this for $200, $80, and 1,200. You notice some of the larger ships. I've seen ships track 14 grand, I think, in the end. We've actually got $1,000. Is it possible could we buy something to replace it? How about our fuel tank? Can we replace our fuel tank here? Standard fuel tank. We can definitely replace it with the standard fuel tank. We can't go up to the section one, which is a shame. RCS was the other one that we could replace. Definitely can't. That's $3,000. Any civilian? The grapple civilian. Okay, cool. So let's go into the skill tree. What we've got is we've got lasers. So I want to look at here. Energy focusing. The range of energy-based weapons. I think that'd be quite useful. And that costs 6 points. I got 10. So there we go. I got 4 points left over. This is 15 points, so increases. Allows you to use level 2 laser weapons, which is pretty cool. And notice these also have levels, so I can put more into that. To level up that one component. Gosh, I can't get the words out today. There are explosive weapons like missiles and mines as well, but I haven't got any crafts that can use them just yet. I'm seeing if there's anything that costs 4 points. I haven't found anything. You see, I've got a whole lot of mining stuff, so my mining's a lot more proficient. Social, just a lot of haggling. Persuasion, I got that, so it gives me the ability to persuade sometimes when I'm talking in dialogue. Okay, I think I've got everything. Let's undock. Let's go on the mission. Now, I was talking about autopilot before. At any point when you set an autopilot mark, you can... Actually, before I set autopilot, you can push C for cruise. So cruise is a much higher speed, you see there in the bottom left. It travels at a much higher velocity. I'll turn that off by pushing C again. If I push X,
Autopilot engaged.
It will automatically fly to my destination. And that was systems away. But the cool thing is it's automatically going to fly and you notice it's going slowly near some debris. It's automatically going to fly to the jump gate, which I presume is on here. Looks like it's slowing down for it.
Jump drive activated.
Cool, jumping out the gate. And it's automatically going to fly between these. I think that's really, really cool. It knows where to go. It uses the cruise speeds to, get through quickly. And I think it's really good for getting through places quickly. This is a pirate headhunter. Let's see if we can engage him. You can notice there I did a little jump. I can double tap and I do a little jump here. So I can... Oh, my... They're all on the left click. Okay, we got him. Took a bit of shield damage. So you can grapple on the container that he left. And there's just some gear there. So I thought I had... In here, are they both... How do I switch this to right? Oh, look, you can bind to different buttons. That's kind of cool. I'm going to have this as left mouse, and I've had the lasers as right. I could have them the separate ones to probably conserve energy, but they've both got the same... Yeah, I think I'll leave it like that, just make it easier. It means that sometimes if I'm attacking someone over here, we just kind of spray and pray. Okay, I'll push X again, resume the autopilot, and it'll automatically go on its way. Things are getting a bit blue. Look, it's navigating around that, which is pretty cool. The reason why it's getting blue is that there's a giant star to my side. You can just see the glimpse of it there. If you get too close to it, it's not good. So there's a bunch of pirates here, but hopefully we can just zoom past them. I disengaged it just to... Because it's a bit slow when it's navigating past asteroids, and sometimes I like to do that manually and then quickly resume it. Our fuel actually is plummeting in this ship. 50% already. Or under 50%. There's merchants there, and you can actually talk to merchants as you go along and get goods out of them, ask for refueling. Maybe I should have done that. Right, so now we're in some very pirate-based systems. There's no friendly turrets on the outside of that. Oh, okay, let's just go into cruise mode and drive this manually through. And just slightly turn to avoid ships. You notice that some damage is getting through my hull. Right? Shield doesn't negate all damage, it just kind of prevents some of it. Whoa, miss those missiles. Now where are we going?
Autopilot engaged.
Over to the side here to this guy.
Autopilot.
There's actually, I can see my mini-map there, there's a friendly getting chased, but I don't really have the time, or... I feel like there's so many enemies in the area, it's probably not worth going in. Okay, so where are we now? Oh, we're still in a pirate system. Okay, let's autopilot through.
Autopilot.
Sometimes I like it the autopilot to get the trajectory right, and then I like just turning off the autopilot and manually turning, so I can see on the mini map when these little asteroids are coming up, and so I can just maintain a good velocity. But there seems to be a whole lot of components that I still haven't even discovered, like you can lock on, for example, and you'll be able to probably fire missiles. Oh, there we go, locked onto them there. I don't think I've actually locked onto anyone before.
Jump drive activated.
Jump drive, as I'm cruising through, it walks me back. That's kind of amusing. Okay, so now we're in a friendly system. You notice there's some turrets there. We should refuel up. There's no spots. Where are we going to? We're probably going to...
Autopilot.
Let's place over here. We've got about 40% of fuel left. Should be safe for the moment. It's a very neat game, but I'm finding it to be... Like, I'm wondering what the end game has in store. For example, when I was playing Space Pirates and Zombies, I found that towards the end game, like, I was getting some really cool fleets and really interesting ships. So this one here, I was looking at some of the later ships, I'm like, oh, it's only got a couple of guns that have very low angles of fire, and I don't think I even want to use those. The cool thing is that the quests and the dialogue trees have been quite interesting so far. Okay, so we're in the system that we need to be in. You'll notice there's some markers on the map. So what I need to do is I need to hack some computer terminals in these stations. So first I'm going to come in here and refuel up. So we just come up to the gate here, push F, and it will dock in. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. So I'm going to refuel, repair up. Now here's the public terminal. So I'm going to do the military data quest. It says permission denied. Hack terminal with Roth's device, the guy that gave it to us. Press buttons randomly or step away. So I'm going to hack it with the device. Permission granted, initially download completed. Okay. Let's undock. We can go to the map and quickly set this autopilot towards it and it'll just go. Someone described this game as a 2D Elite Dangerous. I thought that was quite interesting and probably even quite accurate. Lots of, trading, mining, bounty hunting, kind of like people just give you quests to destroy someone.
Destination reached.
All those things are in here, just in a 2D setting. Well, isometric setting. Okay. Next terminal. Military data. Hack the terminal. Permission granted, download completed. I actually talked to the chief scientist. I'm wondering if I can give some aliens. She wanted some alien tech, and I destroyed some aliens earlier. Ready to serve science. I have something for you might find useful. Great, let me see. Looks like you have 6 items in the ship I could find useful for your research. I can give you 60 science points for that. Is that okay? Yeah, take them. Okay, 60 science points have recorded in your account. Your total is 60. Yep. Great. Ready to serve science. So what's the science points? Oh, that's how many science points do I have? Want something from the ship I'd like to visit your holodeck. So what does it say? I can offer you a radar booster. Oh, and they cost different amounts. So warp booster improves your jump distance and recharge speed. I don't really... These are advanced boosters to use and you might need some engineering skill. I think I'll change my mind and talk about it next time. Anyway, that was interesting. Let's undock and go to the final spot. I haven't joined a faction yet though, and that's what I'm really wanting to do.
Engaged.
Joining a faction seems to give some unique perks, and I think that might be where the game spreads out a bit more. Right, let's cruise along. When I was playing at the start of the game, you started in the order system, and the order, so these green guys that were currently around, they wanted me to do small quests for quite a few people, and I think I screwed up one of them, and that might have screwed over my chances. I don't know. It said to join the faction, I needed to please 4. Oh, we got an enemy coming up. Oh.
75%.
Oh gosh. Those bullets are big. Okay, push 1. And use a consumable, which is the thing which kind of gives us a boost in hull. Okay, if I can do a strafing run past this guy. Just boost past.
75%. Shields down.
Oh man, that turret is strong. Totally wiped us out. That's a big cannon. I haven't seen a cannon that big before. So it's destroyed. You get your ship back, you lose all your inventory and cargo though, which is kind of a shame. And you pay like $25, so it isn't much. Where did it pop us out? At the last system. Okay. Let's try that again. Autopilot me to there. Damage critical.
Engaged.
I don't think damage critical at the moment. I think it was delayed audio there. I'm keen to see, yeah, because I had to do 4 quests to join the auto faction. I screwed up one of them. I don't know if it was 4 quests. It was please for officers, which could have been 4 quests, but because I screwed up one, does that mean there's is there like 5 or 6 that I could choose from? I had to explore to find them myself, and yeah, possibly
Autopilot disengaged.
just leave cruise on automatically. God, that's not what I wanted to do. You got a little can, you're right. That's the big guy. Oh, I want to go get him. Let's go do this quest first. My gear's there under my corpse, by the way, the one that the box he was next to. Radio. Took me a while to figure out how to dock into his stations for the first time. Probably this big hole would be obvious. And no, it was easy to spot once the ship came out of it. I'm like, oh, that's how you get him. Alright, let's refuel up. Command deck. Interesting. Some merchant here. Better equipment? Oh, he's just telling me how to get better equipment. Alright, terminal. Military data. So let's hack it. Download completed that. I've now hacked all the data. Now I should get back to the Mercenary Wrath and give the data to him. So that seems to be simple, but I thought the order might have, tried to come after me. Doesn't seem like it. Things are pretty quiet on their front. Maybe it was just that simple, just a fetch and retrieve. If so, kind of disappointed. Wait, why is there a yellow symbol still around the that faction. I downloaded the crypto. If there's 3 stations, have the terminals in each. Oh, yeah, I've downloaded it. I got to give it back to Mercenary Roth, and he's back here. So that's where the Autopilot should go to.
Autopilot
But we're
disengaged.
trying... No, that's a little pirate. Well... Oh, that's the locking, so
Target
now it's
locked.
fully locked.
Target destroyed.
Yeah, target is definitely
Level
destroyed.
reached.
New level reached. Lovely. Okay, here's the guy up here.
Target locked. Structure at 75.
Got him! Poor. Just gonna get those lasers onto him. Right, so let's grapple in his gear. Oh, he's got some torpedoes that we could take. A torpedo weapon. And that's my stuff from before. Alright.
Autopilot engaged.
Duh.
Autopilot
Go around the box.
disengaged.
Okay. Using a consumable. So consumables are one-off items that you can use to, say, repair something. So the ones I've got there in slot 1 down the bottom, I can use them. And what they do is they repair my health. So I just triggered one off then to repair my health back up to 100. The shield will recharge and the energy will recharge as I stop boosting away.
Jump drive activated.
We'll go back and we'll see what the outcome of this mission is. And I think it'll be interesting to see the result. So, the 2 hours I've played, it's definitely an interesting game. I just waiting to see where they go with it. Then again, I think the price of this game isn't too much. Actually, while we're traveling, because we can do this, we can go to the website of this game, which I think is quite cool. Steam's overlay is really, really nice for that. So yeah, we can visit on Steam. The forums have been actually quite active. I was reading through the forums before on their... Just gotta make sure I'm not gonna die in this. No, we'll be fine. There's a lot of activity on their forums, which is quite cool to see. So, for me, the game costs, it's a New Zealand $1.16. So we're looking at about 12, 13, 14 US dollars. And it's a really, I think it's good value for that price, but possibly don't expect too much from it. I don't think there's anything too revolutionary here, but I think it's a very solid title. I've put 2 hours into it so far, and I haven't become bored with what I've done. So I've often find, I just want to do that a little bit more. So there is obviously something in this game which is enticing, but I haven't found out what that is exactly yet. I'm just manually go around these.
Autopilot engaged.
Radio.
Jump drive activated.
Couple more systems to go. I'm playing off an SSD, and so there is nice quick load times.
Autopilot disengaged.
Don't want to spend any time talking to you, so let's gun it.
Autopilot engaged.
Or is it going to have like guns firing behind me? I do like it though, how when you go into cruise speed, you can't use the weapons and they automatically all face forward. I think that's quite cool. So like they become active there, but when you go into cruise...
Autopilot.
Oh no, it's actually not when you go to cruise, it's when you go to autopilot. Oh, that's a shame.
Autopilot disengaged.
Jump.
Drive activated. Autopilot.
The ability to
engaged.
resume or suspend and resume the autopilot at any time, I think that's really cool. And just at one push of a button. Now let's cruise through this. Oh, yeah, it's out of the range of the, especially the 4-pronged laser of one of those units.
Autopilot disengaged. Autopilot engaged.
So you see me just turning off and on, navigating around. I find that's really useful. Did notice at the start of the game that they were saying, make sure you don't forget about the C key. Don't forget about the C key, and that's the cruise control. Because I think for a new player, if you missed that... Okay. Obviously struggling to hit the point it wants to.
Disengaged.
If you'd missed the fact that the C key allowed you to go cruise control, you'd probably find this game very boring because it'd be very, very slow.
Destination.
Oh, we've reached this mission. I have to go the last bit myself. That'll be easy to do. It's not too far away either. So let's go talk to Roth and see what he says. I upgraded my radar so I can see further out. I think that was a great upgrade to get. Is that an intake there? No, it's not. It's just a window.
Docking.
Radio. So, refuel and stuff while we're here. Roth. Got the data.
New level
Really?
3.
Let me take a look. Yes, that's exactly what I needed. I'll give this data to our tech guys and we'll soon find out whether the secret unit still exists or not. We're finding a secret unit that the Order has. Here's a reward. I've sent word about your help to Jordan. Come back sometime. I might need your help again. So, you want to join it, you need to speak to Mercenary Headnut. Where is he? Something like selects Jordan, hiring consultant. All Freedom Newcastle's go through him. You'll find him at Station Oblivion 2 in Tonpole, the Freedom Capital. Oblivion 2. Where is Oblivion 2? Ah, it's over here. So I've set the order point. Let's go over there and I'll have a chat to him. I want to see if we've got enough to get into the Freedom faction.
Autopilot engaged.
Or if we still need to do some more to please them. It's these other systems on the other side of the universe, these red systems, which really, I guess, look at that, 100 level, the difficulty of 100. I think they would hold the real secrets, but I fought one alien ship and it wasn't anything to really talk home about. I keep comparing this game to Space Pirates and Zombies or Spaz, and I think it's a shame to keep comparing it to that, but wow, Autopilot. I think it's a really good comparison to make. Oh, I'm in cruise control, I'm not an autopilot, that's why. My fault. In that game then, when you're fighting the zombie units, they had that unique mechanic of plaguing and, you know, your crew might get infected so you might have to eject them or all those kind of mechanics. I thought that was something unique and really fun to play with. This seems to be missing that mechanic. Well, not that mechanic, but a unique mechanic like that. Okay, so let's talk. So it's their big base. Let's talk to Mercenary Headnut. Joining the Freedom faction. You want to join, you came to the right person. Our leader, Select Jordan, is a generous man. This offers honest work to those who seek it. In freedom, you may rise to heaven or fall to hell. It's up to you. But right now, it's up to me whether you have this choice or not. I want to work for him. Do you? Well, I've seen many others who did too. I allowed some of them to join our cause and refused others. Do you know why? Why? Because they didn't believe in what we do. What do you believe in? Money, power, I only believe in myself. I only believe in myself. Yes, you should. You really should. You can never betray yourself. You should never sell yourself. You will always belong to yourself. Otherwise, you do not exist. That's how. Yeah, that was the feeling I got from the Freedom. They're all believing in themselves. They're talking nonsense about joining Freedom. If you want to join us, you need to pass my test, and it won't be easy. The first test is a test of might, and to show that you're experienced enough and you're ready for us. Level 10. Cool, we got that. The second test is a test of trust. You need to walk among freedom and earn the trust of our men. You should earn the trust. Okay. So it seems to be a similar thing here. 4 members. And the last test is a test of wisdom. I present it to you as soon as you've completed the first 2. So then it's going to probably ask about influential. Oh, they're everywhere, try looking across the systems. So I'm wondering, by the time if I did, 4 different... Well, I got 4 influential members of Freedom Faction to trust me. What level would I be then? Would I be that level 25 and kind of hit, max of a lot of the ship? Well, not the max of the ship, but, got all the ships maxes. What opens up then? So there's some interesting ideas. I actually want to play some more probably to find that out. But I hope this has been a useful video for you finding out about VoidExpanse. It's out now on Steam. Check it out for yourself. And other than that, we will see you next time.